One of the other burning issues at the moment is the 221G issue in Manila. So Carl, the 221G situation is also worrying many people. And of course, this is something that seems to be happening more localized at the Manila consulate. We did discuss it at the last Facebook Live session, but do you have any updates for people in the forum and any advice on what to do if you are going to be going to the consulate in Manila?
So I don't know why. I mean, maybe I did something in a past life that is rewarding me, but still I have not had a single nurse that's been stopped because of 221G. But I do understand that this has become common at the embassy in Manila. And, you know, we've seen people, I've had various clients around the world with these 221Gs. Basically, there's administrative processing that they have to do. They have to do background checks and so on and so forth. And, you know, as somebody who used to work for the Immigration Service, I understand that, you know, they're not going to let in somebody in the US who might be a terrorist or a criminal or something like that. But, you know, applying this so broadly, as Chris was saying on the last call, to Filipino nurses seems like a total waste of time to me. And I want to give Chris a shout out because he's negotiating with the government people right now to try to put the brakes on this 221G. So I think it's, you know, basically I think it's like this temporary bump in the road. I don't think it's anything people have to worry about in the long run, but we'll certainly update you next month about whether that's over or what's going on with 221G.
Yeah. And we're getting a lot of questions. I'm just looking at the questions as you're speaking. We get a lot of questions about the 221G status. So just to reiterate what Carl has said, and for everybody to know, there are a lot of efforts going on in the US right now. Chris is a part of that. We have also been working with many of our hospitals and many of the lawyers in the US with the lobbying government to try and, you know, assist with, as Carl said, this bump in the road. But I just want to read out one of the questions that we had from one of the nurses about the situation. Carl, there was a confidential question that was posted. Is refiling a case a good choice rather than waiting for the USCIS to review? Is it okay to have the same petitioner still of the same facility? I was recently on a 221G status and then now refused and then received the 212A5A. I had that lack of employment contract because I just followed the checklist of requirements emailed to me. A friend of mine just a few months ahead of my interview date was approved and we had the same documents. She was only asked about the job offer. So I think the bottom line of this confidential question is it wise to wait or to refile? What is your advice in that regard?
I don't know whether I got every word of that question. Okay. It sounded, you know, sometimes these questions are very, very specific. You know, I heard 21285 and so on and so forth. And it would be better to meet with the lawyer and show them all the paperwork. You know, if somebody went to a physician and said, oh, you know, I'm having a little bit of chest pain, should I have a pill or do I need open heart surgery? I think ethically that physician should say, look, we need to do some EKG testing and stuff before I can give you the answer. So I wouldn't want to, you know, I'm sorry, but I don't think it's ethical to try to answer a very specific, complex question without seeing the paperwork. I don't want to give any wrong advice.
Okay. So, and I think that's a good analogy, Carl. I think for anybody who's watching and posting these questions, there might be case-specific information in your particular case. So that's where it's really important that when you sign your job offer, that you sign with a reputable company, that you work with a lawyer that is an expert with nurses, and to do your due diligence and your education process before you even sign your offer in that regard. Because if there is a bump in the road, it's really important to consult with your lawyer and make sure that you get the right advice for your specific case.